Hello, plant parents. A very good afternoon. Welcome to my fourth episode of Anuke Nuske. I was not supposed to shoot today, but there was an incident in the morning, and I thought, let me just do this. I couldn't stop myself from doing this shoot. So what happened in the morning early? I got almost like 65 WhatsApp messages, and straight at 7 o'clock, one of my neighbors, she calls me at 7 in the morning on a weekday. Saying, Anu, you know what? I'm really scared. My plants are not doing good. What should I do? I was like, क्या हो गया? Corona हो गया या कुछ हो गया है? And I was so afraid. But then when she told me and I looked at what she was doing, she was watering it perfectly. Her soil was also good. There was no bugs into it. The placements she used to take care of almost every day. She has more than 150 plus plants. And every day, every morning from 5 to 7, she's on her plants, taking care of it, and still they don't do good. And that's what I realized, that lot of the plant parents and even old plant parents don't realize how important is the plant food into the overall growth of the plant. And that's why today's topic is on the plant food. The day you'll start considering your plant babies as your own kids, your real kids, you will realize there are a lot of similarities between the two. Exactly, so this is my plant baby. It's a very healthy one, and this is the same for almost a year and a half. In this one, if you look at anybody who has bought a nurturing green plant will see that there are these small little green balls always there inside, mixed into it. These are my secrets to a healthy plant food or a healthy plant. Basically, this is a nurturing greens all-in-one plant food. It has slow releasers, which has almost everything which your plants require. Very easy to put. Just take a spoon and put it all across. Usually the instructions comes with it, but in my 4 to 5 inch plant, I usually put 1 teaspoon every 6 months. And if it's a 5 to 6 to 7 inch pot, I put 2 teaspoons, and if it's more than 8 inch, 9 inch pot, which is almost a floor plant, I put 3 teaspoons of these every 6 months, and nothing else. So it also makes sure it has a mix of neem khali also in it, so it gives a lot of immunity also in terms from the bugs or any other such insects which comes on the plant, so it keeps them away also. So my plant food is a mix of all those ingredients which our indoor plants require, and I use it every 6 months. Now, in case you don't have access to this plant food, there are a lot of also good plant food available. For example, there is Basakot, which is also a type of slow releaser available on Amazon. It's a very good quality one. So earlier, when we were not producing our own plant food in a commercial growing, we used to have Basakot and NutriCoat from Japan. That's also a very good plant food, but they're a bit more expensive. But then they're far superior in terms of the quality. So basically, each plant food, which is this, basically this small ball, this is made out of multiple coats, and they get dissolved every time you water it. And below every layer there is a whole lot of food which is there. So whenever you water it, the outer layer interacts with water and gets dissolved, and that's where the minerals sort of move to the plant. So what also a good part happens with this is, it goes on for 6 months. So the plant doesn't get all nutrition at one go, neither the nutrition depletes. And that's what happens when you put it from the top, or there are so many other companies which makes it, where you have to either spray it, or you have to drench it, or you have to use the method of putting it from the top. But what happens is, every time you put it on the top, it actually quickly depletes it and go from below. So the roots after the second month are again thirsty, doesn't get the right food. But with this, what happens is, it gets a very continuous flow of food. So just imagine your kid, you tell your kid saying, आज ना एक काम कर बेटा, 200 रोटी खा ले और फिर अगले 6 महीने कुछ भी ना खाना. And this is what we do when we do our plant food. We give them in one shot, and the plant at that day or that week gets good food, and but then after that it starts going down and doesn't get a good food. And that's why this company and at Nurturing Green, we devise this slow releasers to make sure that the plant keep getting food at a regular interval. But again, in case you're not able to access it and you want to have your own thing, you can go to a good garden center and can buy a plant food. Just make sure these 4 things are there at least in it. So there's N, P and K which is available in it. Usually that's the basic. It's like, our body needs proteins, carbohydrates, and fiber. It's similar to the same one. So, different things brings different elements. So some bring, immunity to the root. So, your root gets more stronger in terms of growing, or some brings higher foliage around it. And that's what our NPK also does. So in case you're buying it from outside, just make sure at least they have the NPK. But don't buy it from a local shop, or don't try to get it from any local nurseries. I'll tell you one example what happened. I went to one of the green tours to one of the lady gardener in our tower only, and she showed me one of the packets of this food, and when I checked it, it actually was a very diluted version. It had nothing in it, and because of the price, we usually go and buy a cheaper substance, but that's not the case. The same Basacode which comes in, if a company wants to sell it at a cheaper rate, they can reduce the ingredients, but they never do that. So they are known for their own qualities, and that's why I always recommend to put that. It's too simple, and then I'm sure that the plant is getting the right food, and you actually see it from the outside. The leaf colors. If you want to see a difference, put one with Basacode or a Nurturing Greens all-in-one food, and the other you put it from a local, and you'll see the difference in terms of the quality of the new leaves which comes out of it. And that's for the plant food, and that's my current nuska. Just make sure don't buy local plant food, and also just make sure that you feed your plants. Just watering it and giving it the right sunlight might be good, but eventually they also need energy, and that energy comes from the soil. Inside the soil is these plant food which are already there, which when you would must have bought it from the nursery, the food would have been there, but they get depleted over a period of time. So if you haven't given the plant food for the last 6 months, it's time for you to give a plant food to your plant baby, and you will see it growing in the next 3 to 4 months very differently. Alright, so thank you so much for watching our 4th episode on Anukya Nuske. Do subscribe to our channel My Plant My Baby on Instagram, and follow us on Nurturing Greens Instagram page, where we talk about different green activities and how we bring nature closer to humans. Keep gardening, keep having healthy babies. All the best. Bye bye. Do subscribe to our channel My Plant My Baby on YouTube.